from me. I'm Becky, and today I'm going to be working and playing again with the Creative Abstract Watercolor book by Kate Rebecca Leach. It's my new favorite abstract watercolor book to play with, and I recently posted a video of having a go at this one, and I am once again working in the Paul Rubens glitter travel watercolor set, which is this lovely, adorable pearlescent sparkle watercolor paper, 100% cotton, and this particular set comes with this really adorable little travel palette, and that's what I did these with last time. But today I'm probably not going to use that because I want to try out the Paul Rubens artist watercolor tubes. Now, I hope everybody is well. I hope you're all doing great. I'll have a video up soon of these. I still need to swatch them out. All I've managed to get to so far is panning them out. So this is my first proper play with them. So I thought it would be nice to just do it alongside in this video as well. So these are all the colors, and this is how I've panned them out with half and full size pans. And again, I'm going to have a video of what order I did and which ones I made big and small, and you know, we can have a look at that together at some point. So let me figure out how is best to do this, because I'm usually live streaming my coloring video at the moment on a Sunday, and this time is a very different time of day. It's a very different time zone I'm probably gonna capture with this one, but that's absolutely fine. I will leave the replay up. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to point out, this turned up today, so this arrived. It's the 2026 Light Wish cotton hot press watercolor calendar. Comes with a little stand. I've been playing with the 2025 one, but I picked it up round about, you know, a few months into the year, and was doing some nice mixed media monthly spreads, which I quite liked. I quite like the idea of just doing like a little monthly challenge, and I would like to do another monthly challenge for the whole of next year and try and do it properly, and this is what I'm going to be using for it. So there's a link down for that as well. I went with the hot press. If you're a complete beginner, that means that it's watercolor paper that is very smooth, but they also come in cold press, which will give you a bit of a texture. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, then I recommend that you pick these up before they go out of stock. But also, what was I going to say about that one? Oh yes, if double check the price now, because they did recently drop down. Woohoo! They did drop down in price a little bit, so check that out if you want to save a couple of dollars, or maybe it's going to go down even more at Black Friday sales. Who knows? Who knows? So,
some surprising reasons this engraving pen.
Whoa, okay, that was very loud. All right, let me just make sure that everything's coming through okay. I think it is. Get rid of that. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, but it looks like all systems are go, so we can get started. All right, now let me think how best to approach this. So let's read the instructions first. I'm doing the loose stripes today, which was originally made with permanent magenta, permanent rose, and Winsor violet. These are the Winsor & Newton professional colors that she uses for the examples in this book. She tells you what board she's used, what brushes she's used, and then for her abstract embellishments, she likes a lot of the gold ink and the white pen, and last time there was some black fine liner as well. Yeah, so it looks like we're doing some black fine lining work as well again this time. Let's just read what she says here. Stripes are one of my favorite patterns to paint. I love letting the paint lead the way and often get best results from happy accidents, where colors merge and bleed to create exciting shapes and new tones. After masking off the outer borders in the first step, you can't go wrong. Just wash the colors across the page and let the paint work its magic. All right, so I think I will do some masking off today so that we can have some nice crisp lines as well. So let me find whichever washi tape is nearest to me right now. Gonna need something to hold that open. Here we go, it's a little bit of washi tape. going to mask down all of the sides, and this will give us a nice border to reveal at the end and keep our border nice and crisp. Okay. If I can get my washi tape to not be so torn up. There we go. Okay. So if you have any questions at any point, feel free to ask, or feel free to say hello. It's always nice to hear from people. And if you're watching the replay and you like this kind of content, let me know if you are happy to see a live replay, or whether you would have preferred the edited version for things like this. So these kind of demonstrations, do you want it all just cut down and sped up, or are you quite happy with enjoying the live nature of this? All right, so there we go. We are off to a start. Start by masking your page. Next, wash a layer of paint in a band across the sheet to create your first stripe. Then continue these stripes working down the page. When you're happy with the colors and patterns, let this first layer dry completely. And I do have a heat tool, so I will use that. What did I not bring over? I didn't bring any tissue. No, I do have some tissue. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to give this, this is just an H&S, this is quite a cheap one, so some cheap brushes are quite nice when you can get them, and I just want to see how this one goes. So in terms of colour palette, I think I'm going to try, so I think this one was this one? No, that one's indigo, so I don't want that one. The violet here. Yeah, so we'll take, unless I bring the indigo in, I might bring the indigo in and mix that. Let's see, yeah, that makes a nice colour. Okay, so I'll do a little bit of colour mixing as well. I'm going to go this way around so that you can see. I might try a different, I think I prefer this one. This is the Intuition Artigria brush. It's just a little bit firmer. So I was getting some indigo. I might just get some water in my pans a little bit, so that we can have a nice flow. And then this is the violet in here. That makes a very nice colour. Let's do a swoosh across the top. Okay, all right, we are off. And let's see, what else have I got for nice long broad lines? Let's try some of my flats. I've got a nice big one here, 3/4 inch Artigria. Okay, and let's try for another pink, or let's try just some of that violet on its own. Wow, look at that, that's beautiful. And then let's mix in, let's see, what's this one like? Yeah, let's try this one. So we're just doing some lines across. I can fit one more down here. I kind of want that to bleed a little bit into there. Okay, well, we've definitely got some stripes. Just going to push some of it around a little bit, see how this paper reacts to those kind of things. That's very pretty. Okay, so that's just 3 colours we're using today. Hello, Jay Gregory. I hope you're fine. Hope you're having a nice day. And have you made anything yet? Have you made anything with your box? Okay, right. So I'm going to need this to dry. So I'm going to bring in the heat tool. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some of these nice, probably a smaller brush than that. Some of these little connectors here, little petal shapes. Let's make up a nice dark colour for that. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Let's get some more flow going. And up here. Oh, this is looking cool. So these are definitely some of the projects that you don't want to be too committed to the original, well, I guess, that's the nature of abstract, isn't it? You're not trying to copy something exactly because it's just not going to work. So see what comes out when you do it. Okay, right. That's looking a lot darker, so let me dry that off. Oh yeah, you got the dryer. Yeah, you're gonna be able to do some different techniques with that now. But you'll find that you use it for all sorts of things. So even if you're doing scrapbooking, if you do lots of inking, you'll probably find that you'll start using it to dry your ink quicker. And embossing, you can get into embossing now, the heat embossing. Okay, right, where are we at now? Right, so let's just have a little look here. So you can see that we still have that sparkle through the watercolor, which is a really nice, so that it works really nice with watercolor, because obviously with it being translucent, you get those sparkles still coming through on the paper. And in terms of our instructions, we are at this stage here. Okay, mine is looking very different already, so straight away mine's looking pretty different. But let's move into step 2. So that first one was called wet paint, and now we're going to do wet onto dry. So this should all be nice and dry now. Right, add extra color to build contrast, and she's done like different like patterns and things. So let's try adding some of those elements. So we've got some circles and things and dots. Let's do some dots. I almost think this brush is a little firm to get nice round dots, because it just kind of like wants to fold over the shape of the point. But we'll do it anyway. We'll get those little random. Just bring a little bit more water into it. Okay. All right, so we've got some dots. Let's do some rings. Go. Let's make that a little bit darker. So these paints are very, very, very strong, which is good. It means you're getting a lot of pigment. Okay, let me knock it down a little bit more with some of the indigo. I also saw that I think it's the same author, but she's just brought out this book, but for mixed media abstract. So I have that in my cart. I actually have. I'm really liking that AI Rufus on Amazon, which is like their little AI assistant bot thing. And if you open it up on any item, you can set a price alert. And it'll tell you what the price has been for like the last 90 days and show you a little graph and tell you what the lowest price it's been. And so I'm really getting a bit of a dopamine kick by having like a million things on my wish list, or things that I would normally buy and just, you know, normally just pay whatever today's price is. I've been setting price alerts for when the prices drop below or close to what the lowest price has been from the last 90 days. And you can also set it to auto buy as well. So be careful with it and don't forget what you've got alerts set for. But this one went in. This one went on for a price alert today, that book. So as soon as it gets to my desired price that I would like to pay for it, it's coming home, and then I'm going to be playing with that as well, because I really like her kind of contemporary style with all these abstract things. Okay, right, I'm going to do some stripes across. I'm going to take some more of this violet, but again, I really need to water it down because it's just really, really strong. Little drop of indigo. Okay, we have our stripey bit. Then I'm going to do some circles up here at the top. See how good my circle painting abilities are. Oh, I also have some price alerts on some like really random stuff. So there's a couple of dog advent calendars, and I just know that a dog advent calendar is definitely going to go down in price between, you know, now and Christmas, right? So I have a couple of them with a price alert. So it's just a race to see which one comes down to my alert first. I'm going to darken the inside of these lines a little bit. Okay. And then I kind of want a really washy bit right here. Put some just water down the middle. see if we can get some cool blooming. Oh, I got a big splash. I think I'll leave it though. Alright, I got a big drop there, but it's abstract, so check this out. We'll lift that up and I'll leave that right there. Yeah, so on Amazon, and it's, I don't know if it's on the web browser yet, but if you pull it up on your phone, I've got an Android phone, and any item I go to, let's see. So let's see if I can pick something out. Right, here we go. So on there, this is the Amazon app on Android. Let's say you wanted to buy your organic baked beans. If you hit this button down here, that will pull up your AI Rufus. And then you can ask, you know, so I guess the original way was like you can ask questions about the product. But if you type in price history, then it's going to show you a bar chart up to 90 days. So these Whole Foods beans haven't changed price in 90 days, but it would show you the different prices it has been. And then you can also set a price alert, and then it will notify you. It'll pop up and tell you. I guess that's why it has to be done on the app. So yeah, you can set a price alert, and it'll ask you how much do you want to set the price alert for, and you can pop it in. And then you can also decide, if you check a box to say if you want it to auto purchase when it reaches that threshold. So I don't know who needs to know that, but I kind of found that by accident because I'm on the app too much in the day. But yeah, it's definitely going to make if you're a planner, or if you've got kids and people that you want to buy gifts for throughout the year, I like to get my wish list of my kid kind of early on in the year, and then I could be setting these alerts like way in advance for all the things that they want, and then save money because I've ended up buying them at the best price, because that seems to be the game now. If you want to save money on buying the stuff, because everything's so expensive at this point, the game is how much money can you save by buying it at the right price? Because everything seems to change price so much and all the time that, you know, we're just always holding out for best price possible. Let's try this off again. Oops, a daisy. Sorry about that. Okay, I forgot I'd muted the mic for the dryer because I wasn't sure if it's coming out too loud. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. I just added some extra lines there, and then we were looking at. I'm looking at bringing this is the aqua bronze in rich gold, and I'm going to use that for the gold highlights, which is step 4, and step 3 is the white pen and the black pen. So, and this is the one bit that gets a little bit tricky to see, but at least you split out where the gold is, because last time I had a difficulty because it's obviously not shiny in the book, so I struggled a little bit to see where the gold stuff was. But I think in terms of playing, I think we have enough to go on. So why don't I just get in there with, I think it'll be the Posca. Let's take the white and the black. Let's just do I'm being very naughty with my brushes here, so let me rescue some of these. Okay, so this will be the challenge because I think this step is going to be the longest. So I'll do a bunch of it, but I don't know if I'll finish all of it. What I might do is get started, and then so that this doesn't become a horrible experience for everybody, because a lot of it is going to be just repetitive dots. But what I can do, I think now that we're done with the watercolor side of things, let's see if I can zoom in and get you nice and close in on the action at least. Alright, I think that's, well, okay, it didn't get that much zoomed in, but hopefully though you can see what's happening. So I'm just doing some white dots around those circles at the top. So this is where I guess the part of doodling, so if you are a doodler or you're into your Zentangling, then a lot of this stuff's going to be very intuitive to you. At the moment I'm still wanting to kind of copy along with what our artist teacher here has done whilst I'm doing the studying side of this book, and then when I'm ready to just, you know, make it up and go rogue, I should have a lot of stuff stored in my muscle memory. Alright, and then we've got dashes down here. See, you'll know me from saying this on our Sunday live streams with the coloring, but it's always the white work. As soon as you put the white pen down on top of everything, it just goes from like a 6 to a 10. So look at that already with the little details, and again admiring the sparkle coming through on that paper. But yeah, I really enjoy that. Let's try. Okay, so it looks like we have some circles down these lines, and I'm going to stop when we get to our splash. See, this is cute. And I think for a little splash, I'm going to trace the inside of that shape. A few times. There we go. Okay. Let's do some, we got some stripy stripies. Let's do some stripy stripies up and down over here. It's a little bit damp still, but never mind. So it's beginning to look like fall here now because we've got all of the bad weather just creeping up on us. But it's Californian bad weather. Like back home in England, I would be freezing and wearing hat, scarf, gloves. And we'd have a lot of storms in the nights. So there's a few things I miss. Okay, let's fill these rings with white dots. And then I'll figure out where to put some black. And then a few bits of gold. So gold as a nice accent, not the show stealer. I think what would be nice with this style of abstract is you could do a whole batch of watercolor patterns and backgrounds, and then you could have, you know, just sit in front of the television with your white, black and gold, or, you know, maybe if you want to do silvers, or, you know, mix up different things for your embellishments depending on your mood or what color palettes you went with. I think those kind of steps would be really nice just in front of a movie or something. And then you could do a whole bunch of like greetings cards, or, you know, artworks for gifts as well. Because a lot of the time your friends will look at things that you painted like this and really admire it. So okay, let's do, I think I'm going to mimic the dashes on those up here. And that will be it for the white, I think. Right, let's try some black lines on here, but this is where we're at so far with all of these white dots and dashes. Okay, let's bring some dots here. Okay, and then I think I want to do, maybe trace these lines from our circles up here. Or squircles, actually. And a boop in the middle. Boops everywhere. Okay. And I want to do a little boop in the middle of these white dots. Okay. And then let's see. I think I'll match the outlines up there on the ones at the bottom. For me, I think I would rather be heavier on the white and less on the black, since it's such a stronger contrast to these colors. But I think having it mostly at the top and mostly at the bottom will kind of bookend it a little bit. So I think that could be a really good strategy in terms of balance on this one. And then once I'm done with you guys today and done with this one, I am so close to finishing another painting, and it's my chimpanzee, and I've just got to paint her butterflies, and I'm really looking forward to that one because it's such a cute little like juvenile chimp. And there was some spray paint in the background, and it's acrylic and oil. But she's got a couple of giant butterflies around her, so I just want to finish those off, and then I can share that on here. That'll go up as one of my shorts. And then I'll have to go to bed and go to work in the morning. Yay! Okay. think just a couple of dots down here just to kind of transition from heavier on the black pen to lightening up, and then we'll get the gold out. And if you haven't seen how this gold works, you may fall in love with it. You can mix this powder, this is the aqua bronze, you can mix this in with any other watercolor paint, so you could mix it with a color and turn it into a color that has sparkly gold in it, or you can use it on its own. Just you know, just get it wet basically and it will turn into a watercolor paint. Alright, so this is where we're at with this. Okay, looking very cool, and I think I had some of the powder that I took too much of last time in a palette somewhere, if I can find that. Yeah, there we go. I had a whole bunch left over in here. So I will get a nice fine brush for this. And hopefully this reactivates. I don't think it dries permanent, but let's see. Okay, there we go, yeah. So this was when I first used this paint, and this isn't the recommended way, I don't think. I think what you're supposed to do is take a damp brush and then dip it into the powder and it'll cling to the brush, and then use that. But I tried to kind of I had a little puddle of water and I tried to just tip some in, and I ended up with it just going everywhere. So don't do it like that. All right. Gold highlights. So this is the final step in the instructions in the book as well. So let's start with, I want to do the middle of this here. And like a ring in the middle there. And as that dries, hopefully you'll see it get a little bit more shinier. Let's have some lines going down here. I need to help this out with a bit more water. Oh, I love a bit of gold. They've got a couple of different shades. They've got a silver, and they've got more of a bronzy one as well, I think. I just have the gold and the silver. And it's not the cheapest. I mean, this is like $20-something, but like that was such a small amount. I think it's one of those things that you buy it for your stash, but you buy it once and it will just last for the duration of your entire hobby. Which also means you might be able to find them at second-hand places or thrifts, or, you know, when people are maybe on the marketplace, if somebody has to downsize their supplies. Oh, that's really cool. The little banding. Let's do some circles in amongst all of this. Well, this is making me very happy to paint. Look at those dots. Oh! Yeah, let's do small lines down here. And it's great because all of your lines can be wonky and wiggly, and it looks better. Sorry, organic. It looks organic. Let's try doing something in the middle of these. Very pretty. We need something up here in here. Maybe I should try and replace those dots in the middle. And do some extras. Okay, we must be about done. It's great, isn't it? I mean, this is like, in terms of, you know, in terms of like what it is, it's a hot mess. It really is just scribbles and wiggly lines and trying to copy things but copying it really badly, and it still looks, you know, it still looks really cool. Just trying to think where I can sneak a little bit more gold in before we call it a day. It might be done, you know. Oh, I think it might be done. I don't think there is anywhere that I need to add any more. I think somewhere in here we need something going on in that, and then that's it. Maybe I should do just some lines in between. All right, okay. Let's call that done. That is so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take the tape off. So the big reveal. And still, I still can't get to the bottom of this. This was such a small scoop. If I take the lid off, oh, it's full to the top. You wouldn't even know I ever took any out. Make sure you don't breathe that in though. That's got metal in it. So, not for children. Not for children, that one. Which one's on top? This one. Okay, I've torn my paper a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, if you do have stubborn tape, use your heat tool. There you go. See, you got another use of the heat tool there as well. So when you've got your stubborn washi tape and it starts tearing at the paper, oh, so much easier. Ta-da! Okay. So similar but very different. Here's our artist's one. This is from this book, if you're looking for it. And here's the one that I did. And that's interesting because I definitely tore up some of this paper, but you can still see the flecks. So the flecks are like literally embedded in the paper fibers in this cotton paper. So very nice paper. You can get this in loose sheets as well. You can get actual sheets, so that's by comparison. And also they brought out a little, even mini one with little tiny pages as well, so about half the size. And these are little paint palettes. So if you watched the video I posted recently, I did this one. This is the one that I did, also from the same book. And I was testing out the paint that came with that, and this is also Paul Rubens. Oh my gosh, I need to go to bed. That was Paul Rubens as well. So really good quality paint there. Well, I'm going to call that an evening. So thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for joining the chat as well, Jay Gregory. Always lovely to see you, and I hope you have a beautiful, colourful week, and I'll see you soon.